That's a late bloomer award, because there'll be people there'll be people
Easy.
with their families, and they come to watch and they say,
Medal. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. We are here, run fans, at Brighton 10k, an actual event. Parkrun is amazing, but there's nothing to get the nerves going like an actual race you paid for. So we were Brighton 10k, the mini mile is just finishing, and I am pacing my sister today, and the video is going to be all about, can I basically trick her into going faster than what she thinks she can do? We did a Hove Promenade Parkrun in 24:37 last week, and she thinks she's going to do about 55 minutes, but secretly we're going to try and do 52. So all the pace calculators say about 51 something. So if we can go sub 52, that's going to be an absolute win. She's not going to have any pace on her watch, and so she's just going to go by how I'm telling her and how we're getting on by feel. So let's see if we can push it and she can get an even better 10k time than before. Her PB is like 49, but she hasn't done as much training at the moment, so we're not trying to break a PB, but we're going to try and go as quick as possible. So let's see how it goes. Yeah.
looking good. Well done, Ryan. Well done, James. But well done, Andy's man clock. Looking good. Well done, Andy's man clock.
Here we go then, run fans. As we cross the line, the data is going to pop up. We've got the average pace in the top left-hand corner. We've got the beats per minute. We've got the elevation and slope, which we all know to ignore anyway. And then the bottom left, we've also got the distance. So Lucy, as I said in the beginning part, is going for a 52 minutes. She doesn't realise that. She thinks she's going to be hanging around the 55-minute sort of zone after doing our parkrun last week. But I have the faith, and I know that she can push on and break through mentally and really do well at this run. So the aim is we're going to be running around 5 minutes and 11 seconds per kilometre, and I really want to start off nice and easy and do a big negative split, because you just enjoy the run far more, and I think she'll really enjoy herself if she gets to overtake lots of people towards the end. We did it last year and she did something like a 45 or something like that. We started off very fast. There's a big tailwind on the first sort of 4 kilometers when we do this sort of turnaround in a minute. And yeah, we died on the way back. Even though she was sort of running behind me, it was hard work on the way back, and it wasn't the most enjoyable experience for her. So we've learnt from that, and we're going this time. I've learnt a lot with my pacing as well. So it's a real test of all the park runs, all the practices I've done. This is the first proper event that I'd signed up for, not a last minute event and stuff like that. We'd actually planned ahead. I'm really pleased that I'm not feeling super injured and I can crack on with my own marathon training and stuff like that. And today was a bit of a test. So as we go past the beach huts, it's nice and easy, conversational pace, and she's doing brilliantly. Let's see how we get on in the first half. Now Lucy has got absolutely no idea what pace we're running. She has nothing on her watch at all. I'm in complete control, and I'm making sure we're setting out nice and steady. Now, it was made abundantly clear where people should be standing for their different paces and speeds, but for whatever reason, a few people got maybe a bit confused or whatever, but Brighton did an absolutely fantastic job, Brighton AC that is, at organising this event and making it run as smoothly as possible. So we're not having to weave too much, we're getting on nicely, and here we go, first kilometre done. 5 minutes and 2 seconds, so that's about 8 or 9 seconds ahead of our aimed pace. Now the first kilometre is always going to be a bit quick because of overexcitement and pre-race nerves and the adrenaline and stuff like that, but I'm pretty happy with how we've kept it under wraps a little bit there. Wind wise, last year there was loads of wind going from an easterly or westerly direction, I can't remember, but it was hard work going out, and then as we turned, we then had the wind behind us, so it was going in easterly direction, and like, oh, hello there, mate. Luckily this year there's hardly any of that, so we could pace it far more evenly than last year, because we went out too quick last time. We got carried away. There's a slight downhill in a minute, and with the tailwind as well, we ended up going a bit too quick, and then the second half was a real bit of a drag into a headwind, a slight uphill as well, and that just killed a lot of people off, including my sister. So this time we had a game plan and we were going to execute it perfectly. As we turn up and to the right now, you can see a lot of people are going to be coming by us, but we are staying true. I'm actually telling Lucy that we can slow down even more, and I think that's a really nice thing to hear when you're running, especially at the beginning of a 10K where it's a pretty much all-out effort. Knowing that you can actually ease back a bit and save something for later is a really good feeling. So we're off to a really, really good start. As you can see, she's smiling, she's chatting, and we're really pushing on. So brilliant stuff. So almost immediately it feels like at the start of a race, we're across the second kilometre. Time is flying and we're at a 5:11. So we've brought it right back and we're absolutely bang on pace. I'm really, really pleased with this. Lucy seems really comfortable at this pace, and I'm feeling confident that we can get all the way to the 5 or 6 kilometre mark, running at this pace, nice and steady, and then we can start to turn up the heat and really push on and start overtaking some people, because that's always good for morale. And I know people are going out too hot right now and they're going to start struggling, and there's nothing more satisfying than overtaking people in the last kilometres of a race. There's nothing that makes you feel fresher than when you're feeling better than other people. So I think here is the map then, provided by the fantastic Brighton AC of the 2024 race route. Starts on Hove Lawns down at the bottom, goes east, turns around, heads west all the way along to Madeira Drive. Another turn at the 6 kilometre mark, and then back along past the finish line again. Bit cruel because you can see it, but you've only got about 1.3 kilometres to go at that point. One more turnaround, and then along the start, finish straight once again for a nice strong finish. It's lovely and wide, so you've got lots and lots of room. I cannot recommend this race enough. It is absolutely fantastic. It's big enough to have a real atmosphere and lots of people to be following and racing with, but it's not so big that you're stuck in queues. You don't have to queue for the toilet or the bag drop, stuff like that. It's all very, very accessible. Yeah, I highly recommend it. Really good route, super fast, super friendly, perfectly organised, not too expensive. I think it's about just under 30 quid. And for the amount of organisation and closed roads in a city, you can't ask for more. Here we go then, the 3rd kilometre, and we have dialed it down into 5:12 now. I mean, maybe a second too slow, but I'm really happy with this. With the amount of chatting Lucy's doing, she's super chilled, and I'm really, really confident we're going to have a fantastic second half. I'm really enjoying this run. My leg's feeling good, like I said at the start. It's just absolutely such a lovely time to be running with loads of people on closed roads. The one thing that I was noticing was the running on the cambered roads. I haven't done that for a long, long time. And I was running in my second-hand Alpha Flies, and they're very, very squishy, and I really could feel it on my legs. It wasn't like major or anything terrible. Oh, hello, mate. Quick pass. But I was feeling it slightly, but that's just down to not having run on cambered surface like that. So I'm going to make sure I get on the trails, make sure I do a lot of work on the half Bosu, doing my ankle work and stuff like that, because it's something you can really underestimate in marathons on closed roads and half marathons and 10Ks, is that actually you're running on surfaces that you don't normally run on. You don't run on cambered streets normally because the roads are cambered, but the pavements aren't. So something to keep an eye out for and to try and practice as much as you can. There we are, looking fresh. Got a little group of people behind us. The crowds are lining the road, so really good atmosphere, and looking forward to that second half. We're on Madeira Drive now, and as you can see, the runners at the front of the race are coming through now, and the depth of field at this 10K was insane. It was the county championships as well. But shout out to Jay Mills, Jody at Crown My Run. He did this race, and I just watched his video today. He did like a 37-minute 30, I believe, and he came like 222nd. And like, that is lightning fast. He came 222nd. That is absolutely crazy how many fast people are doing this. I think the winner did it in 29 something, which is just biblical speed. So yeah, congrats to everyone that completed it, but certainly those faster runners showed up today, and yeah, very inspiring to see. So yeah, here we are. Madeira Drive is still nice and wide as well. It gives me flashbacks of an amazing part of the Brighton Marathon. This, as you come around the corner at the Sea Life Centre, there was like 4 or 5 people deep, screaming, shouting. It was enough to sort of make you well up, the emotion of it all and how overwhelming it all was. And then it does fade out, and you end up running what feels like 3,000 nautical miles towards the west, into Denmark, across through Russia, towards sort of Australia way, I think. Then you do turn around, and then you start coming back towards for mile 20 in the marathon. So it feels like quite a long way, this route in the marathon. Luckily, we don't go that far for the 10K. We're going to be turning relatively soon outside Concord 2. Shout out for the great venue that is. Right, I realised that I just missed the 4 kilometre shout out. So here's 4 and 5 at the same time. We have slowly sped it up. We're building into this run. 4th kilometre, 5:09. 5th kilometre into 5:06. And I'm building in confidence with what Lucy can manage today. And I think we can go faster than 5:11 per kilometre for the last 5Ks as well. So I'm not telling her, I'm just slowly winding up slightly. Once we get to this turn, I know that we're going to have a bit of an effort coming back along Madeira Drive. It's nice and flat and nice and fast. Then there's a slight uphill going from the Sea Life Centre towards the main shopping bit, and then it eases up and we can really push on for those last 3 kilometres. So we're looking really fresh. I cannot believe how fresh she was after we did the Hove Promenade park run last week. Check out that video if you haven't yet. She was on the struggle bus from the 1st kilometre, and we were only running just over 5:05s, I think it was. So she's doing pretty much the same effort now for double the distance. So it all just shows, sometimes in your head, sometimes it's just proving to yourself what you're capable of. And I think this run is going to be a really big line in the sand for Lucy as to what she can really manage in her running, which is really exciting. And here is the proof in that kilometre 6, and we have absolutely demolished it in 4:58, and there is more to come. There is no sign of us hanging on or having to batten down the hatches and just try and survive till kilometre 10. We are just ramping up and up and up, and we are going to keep going. I know Lucy very well, being my sister and everything, and I can pick up on her different micro expressions or microaggressions when we're running together, and she's in a really good place both mentally and physically, which is absolutely fantastic. So we're going to kick on along this flat bit of Madeira Drive, hit that slight rise which is just along here. I'm telling her to get behind me just to shelter from the slight bit of wind that's going on, and just to follow me because we're starting to cut through people and overtake them, and that is where the excitement really begins for us in this race. I want to give a really quick shout out and thank you to everyone who's subscribed to the channel. We're now creeping up towards 200 subscribers, which is absolutely mind-blowing for me. We're trying to get 250 by Christmas. We've got Radvent, where I'm doing a video every single day of December to give you as much content as possible. I'm really enjoying planning all that and getting all those videos ready. So a massive thank you to everyone, and keep going with the subscriptions and videos. There's kilometre 7, 5:04. Considering that's the hardest kilometre of them all, because there is that slight rise and it's the first time you're into that headwind, it can demoralise you slightly. So we eased it back ever so slightly, because once you go over the red line in a 10K, it's very hard to bring it back down. So we eased up, we got through that bit, and now we can start pushing on again. As you can see, we are constantly catching people, which is absolutely fantastic for the morale. It does get slightly narrow with these bollards. Lucy nearly ran into one of those once, and so did I. But we're going around the outside. I'm just constantly checking behind me, making sure she's there, and all she has to do is follow me. No worries about pace, just hang on to me, follow the bright mango orange trainers, and we will succeed. So here she comes, flying through different people and straight into kilometre 8. Now this for me is one of the greatest feelings you can have in a race. In the final quarter of it, hitting 4:48, we are getting faster and faster, going through people. It does not get better than this. I'm still confident that we can keep pushing on as well. Lucy is not showing signs of breaking before 10 kilometers. She's gone quiet. She said, right, from now on, I'm not talking. She's just focusing on following me. But even though she's in the hurt locker, I think she is really enjoying herself because, like I said, it's a real motivator to be going through people, to weave through people. It's a bit more effort having to go through and mentally finding the gaps and stuff like that. But because she's following me, I'm taking that side out of it. She just has to come through alongside me as well. Occasionally we get stuck behind some people, which is actually okay. A little break, you know, from the pace, and then we can pick it up again. It's not the end of the world. There's our fan club giving us a shout, and we're nearly there. We're nearly at that final turn, and once you're at that turn, it's just an anaerobic, massive effort as far as I'm concerned. Hold your breath, go as fast as possible, get over that line for glory. Into the 9th kilometre now, and there's surely no way we could have got any faster. The doors must be coming off. We are far below that 52-minute mark. I'm even beginning to think that this could be a sub 50. Oh my goodness, 4:46. Can you believe it? Absolute scenes and carnage. There is no stopping her. This girl can run. This girl is gonna do us proud. 4:46. We have got one left-hander and then one more, and then we are on the final straight. Is it possible? Can we push any more for absolute glory? This lovely gentleman in the orange to our left, he actually asked us which time, and one of the things that I was worried about was telling her about the efforts and things like that. But I told him, he was like, what pace are we on for? And I said, I think it's actually going to be a sub 51. At that point, Lucy suddenly knew that she was on for one. And I think you've got to time that just right as a pacer, is when to drop that actually something special could happen here. So you don't want to go too early, because otherwise I get too excited and then the effort becomes much harder. So I think I timed this just right. With about a kilometre to go, I said, look, we can push on here and we can get a sub 50. So now forget the 52, forget the 55, that is eons away. We are now looking at a sub 50. Can we get a 49 something? Here we go. We're going into the finish. What can we do? Here we go then, run fans. The final showdown. Can we finish it off? We're at 4:50 pace at the moment. Are we going to be able to pick that pace up? We've got plenty of people to be chasing down. We've got less than... Absolutely. Thank you, me, letting us know that. Lucy doesn't run around tracks that much, so that might be a bit of a completely pointless thing, but I know that you can pretty much hold on for 400 metres. We've got less than that. We've got 300 metres to go. Counting down those cones, I've pointed out to the 40 runs man, shout out to 40 runs, but we're hunting this guy down. He was at the very start, actually. I noticed as I was recording this video. Can we get him back? And can we overtake some more people? There's someone in the distance, a nice lady at the front over there. Can we get to her? The finish line is coming into vision. We can see it now on camera. We're at 4:33 pace. I'm trying to push her on. I'm just in front of her. I'm doing the whole classic half wheeling, trying to get her to catch up with me. And as she does, I speed up even more. 250 meters to go. We're pushing, we're pushing. Can we get to below 4:30 pace? Can we get Mr. 40 runs? It is a one-on-one race between Lucy and Mr. 40 himself. Still at 4:32. It's a nice consistent pace at the finish. As we come through, the crowds are getting bigger, the vibe is growing. Can we finish it off? We have got less than 50 meters to go. We're still at 4:30 pace. We've got that lady in the distance. I'm pointing her out. Come on, let's get her. I'm trying to encourage her without her murdering me at this final bit. I doubt she can even think that much because she's digging in. She has done so well over the last 9.9 kilometers. Can we just finish it off in the final 100? I'm trying to get her to go. There's a lady coming up just behind us who's going to come through. Ignore the 51 there. Can we get through the finish? She absolutely makes it. Completely smashed. 4:26. We went sub 4:30 during that last kilometer. Let's have a look at what we did. She's absolutely knackered. The top's coming off. What a seriously impressive effort that is. A massive, massive well done to her, because that is her best sporting performance to date. There we are then, 10th kilometre, 4:40, the fastest at the end, getting our medals on, and we have done it. Chip time, 50 minutes and 13 seconds. Strava time 49:56. So I'll leave it to you to decide whether we made it under 50 or not. Some people go chip time, some people go Strava. Personally, chip time is ruler of all. Strava time is nice to know as well, though, you can see all the different kilometers there all together, and as you can see on this beautiful chart, we start off slightly faster, settle into our pace, and then we build and build and build. And those last 3 kilometers in particular will absolutely stand out. That is the way you want to run a 10K. Absolutely to perfection, paced well, fantastic. Good job, Lucy. You can remain my sister for another year. Until next time.
Anthem Tango Holland. If anyone sees him around, I would love to have a chat with him. If you're not sure who he is, just follow him on Strava and see.
Right, so that is the second video in a row where someone has almost shit themselves from all the effort they're doing. I'm sure my sister will appreciate me telling you that. But yeah, I think, you probably know by now because this is at the end of the video, but I think we're close to sub 50. I'm not sure. I looked at my watch and it said 50:23 and we'd run 10.07, so it's going to be damn close. But you know, considering she was expecting to do a 55, I was thinking we could do a 52 and then come out with something even quicker. It's an absolutely amazing. The split she did, the negative split of that was brilliant. It was so exciting, just going past people and overtaking them in that second half. Like, that is the way to do it. So yeah, thanks very much for watching. Remember to subscribe. Check out Radvent coming up soon. All massively appreciated. Whoosh!